What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Reclaim Your Throne coming at you with another crazy video. But first, my goal is to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe. You already know. Reclaim your throne. Alright guys, so I wanted to break down this Kevin Samuels and Nicki Minaj video because they had a pretty good discussion. I think Kevin definitely was having to play softball with her because, you know, Nicki Minaj is very sensitive, and if you really would have called her out on her reality and her past relationships, visible relationships, i.e. Safari, Meek Mills, and Kenneth Petty, the guy that she's with now, a lot of people would say that, hey, she settled on paper, right? Safari, a guy who didn't have the bag that she had, a guy who didn't have the influence, the claim, or the clout, the fame, the stardom that he had, but he, you know, was a beneficial role in her career, okay? He helped, all right? Whether it was writing music or whether it was sparking ideas, giving her good feedback, whatever it is, he was a supportive boyfriend. Obviously, we saw how that turned out. All right. Then we have Meek Mills, who she was with. She was also with Nas. So, you know, people would say, oh, she had a bigger career than Meek. Nas, ultimately, even though Nas is the God MC, as far as what she did on paper, bigger career than Nas. And who else was it? Kenneth Petty, obviously, he is a street dude. So I'm not going to get into that until we start talking about the video. But anyways, that is settling. So Nicki Minaj is an example of a very successful woman who ended up having to settle because she outranks most guys on paper. All right. But anyways, let's get into the video. There's a lot to break down here. So what I'm going to do is I am going to break down this video as much as I can. And then we're going to go in and break down some of the response that this video got.
I heard it was blood clots and shit. I'm old. We might need to get 911 over there. So. My bad.
Let me tell you. You see, let me tell you why I love the universe, and I am a firm believer of the universe.
Okay.
Listen, I wanted to get on and talk to you for a very long time.
Is that right?
And obviously, Nicki Minaj still tough, still one of the baddest in the game. Can't take anything away from her. Obviously, she is manufactured. You know what I'm saying? She's a bionic chick. But either way, still the baddest in the game. One of.
That's very right.
What we got?
So I want to know what you gotta, you know, let's have this real talk. Let's have this real talk. Because I know a lot of times when people will speak to you, it's like they trying to be funny.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like if you call somebody trying to be funny, yes, I feel if you call somebody trying to be funny, then don't be mad at what you get. If you call somebody that, you know, and you're really trying to, you know, sincerely ask questions or get information or chat, then that's different. So I want to talk to you.
Okay. What are we talking about?
Well, what do you rate me?
Oh, wow. So we have, starting off, Nicki Minaj looking for validation from Kevin Samuels. Because whatever you want to say about Kevin, he's well respected. He is the prototype Wizard Kelly, if you will, okay? He pretty much checks off a whole bunch of boxes on paper. of what women say that they want, all right? And he's seasoned, he's older, he keep a crispy hairline, he's in the culture, he understands old and new, and you know, and he's a blend of what a lot of black men would strive to be in the corporate world. Now, I'm not talking about street dudes and all that kind of stuff. That can go either way, all right? But anyways, she is looking for validation from Kevin, and it's obvious, and that's how she starts off with. But I'm just going to go ahead and give my rating. I 100% agree with what Kevin said. She is a 9. She's a manufactured 9, okay? But she's a 9 nonetheless. She bad, all right?
Is that what we're starting off with?
Yeah.
Do you think the men rape women?
No, I thought, because isn't that what you do?
What have you seen of my content? Have you just seen like the clips?
Yeah. I think I always see people calling you and you tell them, you ain't no such and such. You lying to yourself. You ain't this.
What I typically don't do is I don't typically rape people. I ask them if they rape themselves.
Facts. A lot of women don't actually watch the full show. A lot of the women who come on Kevin's show or Kevin Samuel's show, he gives them the rope to hang themselves, okay? Because he just goes with the same line of questioning. And if you don't watch the show and if you don't pay attention and understand the line of questioning that he gives, then you're not going to be able to compete with his style of debate, okay?
Please ask these questions.
So let's start it that way.
Yeah. How tall are you?
I'm 5'3".
Dress size?
My dress size?
Mm-hmm.
Fender Don said left. My dress size?
Dress size, thick as.
That's a good question. I guess a 4?
All right. And on a scale from 1 to 10, you can't use 7. What would you rank yourself? Fresh face out of the shower, just you.
Yeah.
That's how I always ask the question.
Seven.
So she rated herself a 7. Kevin said you can't use 7. So she rated herself a 7. All right. Watch this.
Can't use 7. That's why 7 is the most common answer.
Really?
It's the default answer for most people because they don't want to go too high, they don't want to go too low.
Well, no, it ain't a default answer for me.
Well, let's see. I would give you a 9. I would give you a 9 because you have the facial symmetry and you get additional points for eyes. Full lips. See, it's not.
Yeah, she tough. She crazy. She go crazy, all right? You can't take it away from her, all right? And you know she got dolled up for this and whatnot. Even without makeup, I seen her without makeup. You can't really catch Nicki slipping like that. You really can't. And body obviously is crazy. Like I said, it's manufactured, but you still got to give it to her, in my opinion. All right, she's badder than Beyonce. That's just the facts. But notice how she rated herself a 7. Okay? Notice how she rated herself a 7. A lot of these chicks that y'all think are the baddest chicks do not believe that themselves, okay? Because you're in your own skin. At the end of the day, everybody's in their own skin. Everybody has certain things that they would wish that they could change about themselves. And it is what it is, okay? You're given what you got, and you got to make the best with it in this life. And quite frankly, you can see that she herself doesn't think that she's a 10, even though most guys would rate her a 10.
I'm an actual image consultant. And I'm sure you dealt with a lot of people who take your pictures and such and so forth. You have a symmetrical face. And so it's much more based upon facial symmetry. It's not based on European beauty standards or anything like that. It's much more based upon what babies animals, human beings have evolved to find attractive.
Wow.
You get additional points because we have evolved to find more slanted eyes somewhat attractive, especially when they're not on Asian.
Wow.
But that's not what gets translated. Most of the time, people take my clips and cut it down to something that's gonna make a viral moment. It's gonna start a conversation. Take the good with the bad. Have you seen anything else that I do?
I saw one time when you checked this lady for, I guess it was a white lady or a Hispanic lady, and you was like, oh, you're not gonna come on this show and talk down on black women. That's what the fuck you're not gonna do.
Yeah, so a lot of people don't really watch Kevin's show in its entirety. So they think that the whole show is just bagging on sisters and all this kind of stuff. And really, it's not. Really, it's identifying issues in the community and trying to fix them from that perspective, okay? And then we all know that black men have issues too. We're not trying to negate the fact that black men have issues. But the black men who have their stuff together have the same difficulty finding black women who you can pretty much get along with as black women finding or looking for black men. I mean, it's the same level of difficulty. All right, so everybody's options in the community are slim.
Yeah.
And so again, that was a clip. I didn't see the context really, but
Well, I get a rap of hating black women. And it's far from that. I mean, there are over 50 black women who report that they've gotten married as a result of watching my content in the last year.
really,
It's on my Instagram. I actually had a young sister just post up saying, hey, as a result of you, I snatched the ring. I just actually posted a brother who was about to move to the Dominican Republic, and he found his wife in my Facebook group. Like 12 couples have gotten married in there. But that stuff doesn't get publicized. But when I'm talking about relationships, I'm talking about men and women, but because I'm black, I'm talking about us. And from time to time, I would bring stuff in, and then a lot of times sisters would say, well, men, when they get to a certain level, they only want white women or this or that. So I let women from other races come in. I'm like, okay, well, can you learn anything from them? What would you teach them? And the one woman came in, and she thought she was going to do what I did to black women. I'm like, hold on, wait. Now, we can talk this way. Karen, you sit your ass down over there. Because I don't play that. I wouldn't let, despite popular opinion, I love my mother, I love my daughter, but we do have to have a family conversation. And what's starting to happen more is, actually, we're starting to have more conversations about this. It ain't comfortable, but we're starting to see progress.
It's not comfortable for the women. See, when Kevin was talking about men, nobody batted an eye. When most of his conversations were about men, nobody batted an eye. But as soon as he started getting on the women, which is, he's only been doing that for a couple of years now, everybody loses their minds.
well, let me ask you this just outright then. Why do successful black men date outside of their race?
I'll answer that for you, Nikki. It's hard. It's hard, bruh. It's hard. It really is. I don't think that they get it. They never will. They'll be like, oh, well, my friend, she's so good. Well, just because you might think that your friend is a good person doesn't mean that she's a good person to a man, okay? Or doesn't mean that she's a good match for these men who are living a very successful life. It's tough, bro. Just like women say, oh, it's hard to find a black man who do this, who got money, who don't live with his mama, who don't drive or who don't have no car, and da-da-da-da. And these black men don't be having no car, and they don't have no crib, and they always got roommates and all this stuff. Just like the women have complaints, the men have complaints too. And it's the same level of difficulty to find a woman who doesn't fall into all the negative stereotypes that are applied to black women, okay? And it's the same for black men, okay? I have to say this because if you say something about them, you got to say something about black men to balance out the scales, okay? So they don't think, oh, you hate yourself. Look, It's hard to find. I admit it is hard to find a black dude, a black man, who is really on his stuff and has his stuff together, not living with his mama, got his own crib, got his own car. Okay, the same amount of difficulty that it is to find a good woman, the same with a man. All right, in the black community.
Well, I would say this. When I look at men, I split them up. Guys that I consider to be in the industry, music, entertainment, athletics, and then guys on the business side. Business side, because I come from that side. But more often than not, black men want to be with black women. We do marry. 85% of black men are married to black women.
Facts.
Oh.
When I
See, they have a problem with it because the successful, the rich dudes they see with you know, interracial relationships, but they're not. See, that's the problem. Their hypergamy won't allow them to look at a regular guy. The only reason Nicki Minaj is with this guy is because they had a thing in the past, but this guy doesn't measure up to her. All the crime that he's done, the things that he's involved in, he doesn't measure up. But she settled. She settled. She settled. She is an example of women who have to settle. Because, let's keep it a buck, black women don't want to date white men. They just don't. En masse, okay? You'll see, well, there's this white woman who's doing this. All right, cool. A few of them do. Most of them don't. All right? And it's the same for black men. But what's happened is a lot of dudes are just like, you know what? I'd rather just look for peace. And a lot of sisters ain't providing peace. That's just the reality.
I had my guys come to me, even after they got themselves together, like Dennis Furling, the guy who just moved. He found his black wife in my group. Black men we want to be with them. The problem is, let's be honest, in my lifetime, we weren't really raised to learn how to get along with one another. We can kick it, we can hook up, but can we work together long term? And I mean, you're married now, right? Okay.
She's married to a thug, bro. Like, how do you, like, everything that Kevin said is, you price yourself out, Nicki. And the fact of the matter is, nobody who has her net worth, and Kenneth Petty may not be faithful right now, but nobody who has a net worth that could even touch hers is gonna be faithful to just one woman. That's just the reality. Y'all think, a lot of these women think that they can find a guy who's worth $100 million to stay faithful to just them. And I'm sorry, it's never gonna line up like that, okay? It's really crazy that they can't get it. That's why when Brittany Renner and Fresh and Fit were doing the debate, and I'm just like, for one, Brittany Renner don't got as much money as people be thinking that she got, okay? She is not having it like that, all right? But for two, you know, she probably making a little $200,000 a year. But it's not where she want to be. But even then, a guy who is making that much bread and is like really having it, you got options in this world, like especially 200, 300K, you saving most of it being frugal, you got options. So once you get to that level, it's hard to go back to just one chick, especially for dudes who are making tens of millions of dollars. She was never going to find a guy who was making that type of money to just be faithful to her. It was never going to happen.
Relationship is a skill set. It's different than dating in short term. We really want to talk that kind of stuff. And what successful people who are doing good in their professional life want to fail in their personal life. And in the black community in particular, when we fail in our personal lives, we pay a huge penalty because so few of us get married. It's almost like we like to see people's marriages fall, but we need more of those things in order to build whatever we're going to be, because People may not like my method, but I want to see more black men who want black wives get with black women. And that's the outcome we're getting. It ain't pretty, though. Sometimes it ain't pretty.
Can I say something? Real quick? Black women, can we stop talking about if these niggas want us or not? Excuse me, Kevin. This is not. I'm talking to black women.
This is the thing. Y'all dating options are limited. If you, as a black woman, want a race of man who is not black, like if you want to date outside your race as a black woman, you pretty much have to be the aggressor, because most people, like outside of the black community, let's just keep it real, they're not stepping to sisters like that. Honestly, I can't remember any time I've ever seen any dude outside of the black race actually cold approach a sister. You know what I'm saying? But black dudes will do it all day. Like, I'll do it. It doesn't matter. But most dudes outside of the black race are not cold approaching or pursuing sisters like that. It's just the reality. So if you are a sister and you do want to date outside your race, you're going to have to be more proactive. You're probably going to, if you want to do it in real life, you're going to have to approach. If you want to do it online, you're going to have to swipe on white men. And maybe DM some guys, because it's not, you're not getting stepped to like that in real life by any guy, let alone a white dude. Like, it's just not happening. Nobody can convince me that it's just white dudes pressing up and like, yo, mama, like, yeah, I mean, spend some real game. It's not.
Real quick, can we stop posting all day on TikTok? Because I newly went to TikTok and I just kept seeing this. Black women, can we stop talking about if these successful black men want us or not?
And see, this is the problem. Nicki Minaj is in a bubble. Everybody wants you, dear. Anybody who you would want would definitely have you for the night, at least, okay? So it's like she can't even see that, yo, the black women are complaining because, for one, they're getting out competed by other women, i.e. fitness, just pleasantries, courtesies, etiquette. I'm sorry, that's just how it's going down. All right, so it's not the looks, it's just those outside things, those little things that add up. So they're getting out competed, and then the only dudes who are really checking for them are black men, but the black men who are like more aggressive are pretty much broker. You know what I mean? It's the reality. It's hard to explain without people coming for your neck and saying, oh, you hate this, you hate that. Look, it is what it is, man. I'm just speaking of facts. I understand that it's tough for black women, because if you're out here and a dude is really pressing to you, you probably already assume that he's broke just because he's black. And these are the prejudices that we have within ourselves. And if he ain't a street dude coming, then you're not going to really be attracted like that. So I don't know what to tell you.
Like, can we just focus on us and we be successful?
But Nicki Minaj has definitely gotten a nose job, because her joint is like straight down the line.
And then we go out there and we decide who the fuck we want. Because what I've been seeing is...
You don't get it, Nicki. For one, everybody wants you. All right? So anybody that you wanted will probably take you up on that offer. For two, these sisters ain't having it like that. Like a lot of these regular chicks, especially if they not even in shape. Let's just take out the women who aren't in shape. You're not going to get a guy who's got bread. Okay? You're just not. So if you are a woman and you on your stuff and you're in shape and you looking good, then you could probably call for something more. All right. But the thing is, she doesn't get it because a lot of these chicks are really just not getting chose like that. Or they're, used as a booty call. Unfortunately. But that's the reality, because when you shoot for guys who are really having it like that, they're going to explore their options. Like Kevin Samuels said, high value men don't cheat. They exercise their options. And a lot of women understand that from a basic standpoint. But when they get cheated on, they act confused.
I feel like I've been seeing men using that as an opportunity because they've been hurt and somebody done went something and they've been using
Who hurt you? Regular shaming language.
it as a way to come out and lash out and poke fun at black women and use it as a way to feel like they somebody or they something. Or so for all you niggas that's doing that on TikTok, wherever the fuck y'all at, eat a dick, go away. Nobody.
So you see how she's going in and all this stuff. All you niggas this and all you niggas that and eat a dick and this and that. Women can openly insult men and there's no problem. But if Kevin would have said, okay, for all you bitches is da 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 and da 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 da, oh, now it's a problem. Now he hates black women. He hates himself. He hates his auntie. He hates his mother. He hates his sister. He hates every woman in his family.
It gives a shit about you. And I want black women to stop fucking posting about whether or not y'all want black women or not.
And they'll never stop posting. They'll never stop posting. Because brothers are, especially these young dudes, it's OV. Generation Z is donezo. It's donezo.
Not. Okay? Well, I want black women just to focus on themselves, be successful, and then you go out there and you decide the trajectory of your life.
More manifesting language. Nicki, you manifested a thug. How is that manifesting working out for you, baby?
Okay?
Well, here's the thing. There's a lot of hurt on both sides. And especially in the black community, we don't really do a lot with counseling, therapy. I recommend therapy often because we got a lot of stuff individually that we want to deal with.
And you know what? I'll give this to Nicki. She's a rider. She's a rider. She's super loyal. She riding till the wheels fall off with this dude that she's with now, because he done put her through some stress that she didn't even have to go through. Some situations that she didn't have to go through. So, woo.
And marriage and relationships are not for everybody. And I'm just trying to, ultimately I ask people, what do you want? What do you want? And what are you prepared to do to get what you want? And are you willing to pay that cost? It's really the conversation, but it always gets kind of whittled down. But at the end of the day, what we are seeing is, especially if you're under 30, it's harder for guys today under 30 than it was from 50 years ago, because you can't take care of a family on out of high school or just coming out. So they're at the bottom. And I just had men's week, and I told guys, look, while you're under 30, work on getting yourself together, because like it or not, you're really not in a position like you should be to be able to work with, lead.
Nicki Minaj cannot relate to the everyday working man. She will never relate. For one, most modern women don't relate to the everyday hardworking man. And Nicki Minaj, dude, she's been famous for like 20 years now. There's no way that she can even fathom empathizing with a hardworking man who works every day, goes to work every day, and his struggle with women. She could never see that side. All right? She's in her own bubble. And that's why she has the viewpoints that she does, because she's only listening from the black woman's side. She's only seeing black women complaints. Notice how she didn't say, I'm tired of black men complaining about black women, because there's a lot of black men who address the issues that come with dealing with sisters, okay?
Do anything like that. And you see the hate, not the hate, but the hurt on both sides, because a lot of times people will use these talking points to go at and poke women over here, but that's not what's going on right now. This year, we're past the sound. I mean, we still laugh, we still do all that stuff. We're talking about self-awareness, and moving the needle. I'm in LA tomorrow talking with a famous sexologist, a womanist, feminist, to talk about things that I may not, that people on my side may not understand, to further open the conversation up. Because that's what we have to get to. We got to end up, for whoever want to be involved with whoever, we got to end up having a better conversation, because while we're separate, fighting, everybody else just eats off of us. That's really what it looks like. So, but,
okay, Kevin. So since we're here, no, we got to get down to the business chat.
Go ahead.
Now, do you think a man can have sex 3 times a night for the rest of his life?
Those guys
can't. This is why I said Nicki Minaj cannot relate to the hardworking man. What man has time, if he is working, to have sex 3 times a night? Like, a lot of these women are just delusional. 3 times a night? And this is the issue. When you've had so many partners, it's hard to, it just gets way too difficult to please you. You want to get smashed 3 times a night? At this point, you need to be in an open relationship. Because the only dudes who are able to smash 3 times a night are dudes who ain't got no job. And this is why a lot of black women see themselves getting tied up with dudes who don't really have nothing. Because they're available all day. They can smash them anytime they want. And, you know, it's just their preference. That's why they say, oh, these N-words ain't this, these N-words ain't that. Because they're dealing with guys who don't have anything. They're dealing with guys who have made poor decisions in their life. And they don't have money. They don't have a car. They don't have a house. They don't have anything. You know what I'm saying? So their perception of black men is, oh, these dudes don't have anything. Well, that's because you're looking for guys based off of sexual pleasure, okay? You're not even thinking about the longevity. You just smashing him because he's tall and he's cute to you.
They can't.
Not for the rest of his life, no.
Well, how many times they gonna be able to do it?
I'll give you that. I'll say 3 to 5 times a week is pretty reasonable, okay? If you're working for real, you don't have time to be smashing all day. Especially a lot of women be dating athletes and be like, oh, he, like the Antonio Brown situation, oh, he only went 1 minute. Dude, he's a super athlete. He's working. Of course, he's only going to go like a short period of time because all he's trying to do is get his nut off in you. Like, what do these women expect?
It's how much he's working. It's how much he's working. That's why I say it's different on.
But wait, no, listen, no. Listen, hold on. How many times should a man expect to have sex? What is, in your opinion, how many times should a woman give their man sex a week?
A week?
Whenever he asks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a fan of the as often as he wants it.
No, hold on.
Because here's the thing. Here's the thing. You look at, like I said, I look at guys, most guys I'm talking to are working 10, 12-hour days. Bernie Mac said
she can't fathom that because she's been over here clowning around with Drake and Lil Wayne and all this type of stuff. Like, these dudes, they're in the studio, they're getting high, they're drinking, doing all this kind of stuff, right? She can't even understand a guy who works 10 hours a day. What are you doing? Like, she's the type to call you up all day long. She the type to be texting you maniacally and you know, just blowing your stuff up.
I'm gonna come home and give you 50 strokes. You count them if you ain't got time. Most dudes trying to walk around like they porn stars. Look at, man, get good at foreplay, eat some pussy, and get on. Because we don't have all that time. We get old, our back hurt, our hips out.
Oh no.
When you get older, but I think a healthy sex life 2 to 3 times a week is what most people are doing because they got kids.
Yes, no, I understand.
But when you're single, no kids, whenever you want to.
Yeah. Well,
Nicki Minaj wants to have sex all day, every day. And this is how a lot of sisters have modeled their personalities off of these female hip-hop artists. That's all I'm going to say.
I don't know about that one.
no.
So have the men, okay? Men too, yes. A lot of black men have modeled their personalities off of these mumble rappers.
I understand because yes, things change when you have to be looking at your baby and a lot of I get it. I totally get it. But let me ask you something. Do men really want? Because I was having this discussion 2 days ago. Do men really want a woman to be all up under them, oh baby hi yeah ooh huh? Or do they just say they want that and when they want that and when they get it they be like,
Nah. I think it's more of, okay, a guy wants the woman to be available when he's available. Point blank. That's how you chalk it up. When I'm ready, after I worked and do this stuff, you're ready.
because I feel like me being mean is what, yeah.
The late great Patrice O'Neal said it the best.
I'm going to keep it a bug. Nicki Minaj is still like a 19-year-old girl in a grown woman's body. And you can tell by her mannerisms. I know she's a musician and an artist and all this kind of stuff. But she is the definition of BPD, borderline personality disorder. Like, she's going in and out of transients and metaverses and all types of stuff. Like, what is all of this, bro?
We want you around, but not around. He made a comedy bit where he said, we want you in the house, kind of like around the corner in the vent somewhere. We kind of want you to be like a cat. You call a cat's name, hey, babe. Okay, you there, cool. We just want to know you in touching distance. That's really all we, because we really
And I feel like I'm like a man. I feel like
that masculinity coming out. I'm like a man.
A lot of people throughout my life would tell me that I'm like a man. Because I remember people would tell me I shouldn't expect as a woman to have a climax every time I do it, right? Like Hilton. And I said, excuse me, are you out of your fucking mind? Why wouldn't I want to climax every time I have intercourse?
Excuse my language. What the fuck is she talking about? You talking to a 50-year-old man and you talking about climaxing, bro? Have some respect.
Just like you want to climax when you have intercourse. And I was accused of being like a man. Not in my, this is years ago. And I knew that wasn't gonna work, child. Cause it's not only about you.
Look, guys, y'all need to learn how to stroke it right. Cause I don't know what's up with like these chicks like not busting or whatever. I've never had that problem. But you don't have to do all the foreplay to get shorty to bust. I'm telling you, you don't. You just have to have a mean stroke game.
Well,
you think about that?
Well. So when I go to LA, I'll be talking to sexologists. Shampoo Dream, Shampoo. There's a lot that men don't understand about sexuality. Most guys, you ask them what the Kama Sutra is, they don't know what it is. They don't know anything about tantric sex. They don't even know that. You couldn't even show them the anatomy of a vagina and they can understand the parts. Just weren't taught. So, if you know what you're doing, yes, you should have as much orgasm. You should. You're multi-orgasmic. You can have more than we can.
That's right.
So the point is that I think that was part of the purpose of going down there, to have this conversation, because women's sexuality is so misunderstood by men. So a lot of guys make comments about women in not knowing, and they make decisions based on women. And I say ultimately this: if you ain't getting married, what the fuck you care about a woman's body count and who she fucking? If you ain't gonna take ownership of it,
yeah, I agree. The body count only matters if you're gonna take shorty seriously. I mean, I'll smash a girl with 1,000 bodies. I don't care, as long as she looks straight.
If it's yours, you need to learn what to do. Because
Well, if I was a man, I would still care about who a woman is fucking. Just
safety. As long as it's clean. I'm talking about. There are guys who worry about things. Here's the thing: there's ownership and then there's dating. We do a lot to disqualify one another, and we got enough stuff already disqualifying us.
Oh, right, to put women down.
Yeah, I mean, or to discount men too. And I'm like, well, in the context of a relationship, it's different than people who are out here just hooking up. If you're gonna just be out here hooking up, you need to be. I would assume you would want to have a good sexual reputation. You want to be a dead lay or a weak fuck. That's not a good look.
No.
People are like, I'm so lost.
No, I'm not lost.
No, I'm talking about people in the comments.
I want to put it on the person. I don't give a shit.
Well,
a person? Don't you mean your husband? Who is she talking about? Look, Nicki Minaj probably is in an open relationship. Honestly, because the way she talking, she sound like she want to smash Kev.
Yeah, I seen the videos. I heard. What were you talking about? The blood. What is a blood? What is that?
Blood clot?
I'm serious. I know. What is that?
No, it's just a term that my family, my Jamaican.
You talking about the blood clot? Like, come on, bro. You don't know blood clot?
People who I love very much. It's just a curse word that they use. Like, with a blood clot, you deal with pussy. You understand? So that.
All right, I've heard that before. I'm like, I didn't know if it was a curse word or what. All right, cool. But good to be on here with you. You got any other questions? Because I got to get packed.
Gotta finish talking to my people, but I want to tell you that I appreciate you joining me tonight.
Appreciate it.
And I don't want to, and to everybody that's wanting me to diss this gentleman or anything, I'm not going to do anything because I don't have proper information, and I don't do shit to get attention or to get clicks or to do no clown shit. If I hear something and I understand the context and Kevin and I wants to talk, then we'll talk. But I'm not just here to diss nobody. So Kevin,
if I say some shit you don't like, feel free to talk about it.
I will.
Okay.
Kevin, we gonna have to have you on Queen Radio in a month or two, okay?
Let's do it.
Hey, that's hard. Hey, and you know, she was respectful. It was a dope conversation. All in all, I think Nicki Minaj is pretty much a testament to what we talk about in the Red Vitamin, is that you're going to have to settle, all right? She settled for a thug dude who's not nearly on her level, all right? And that's the reality of the situation. So anyways, you already know what it is. It's your boy, Reclaim Your Throne. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. Send your relationship question to the email down below. You already know. Reclaim your throne.
Reclaim your throne.